Today I have with me Jennifer Lau, who is the Vice President at IMG. We appreciate you coming on today, Jennifer, to talk about your current role and give us any advice as college students. So could you first provide a brief summary of your current role and primary responsibilities?
Yeah, so I oversee the Action Sports Division under IMG Events. We are a subsidiary under the Endeavor Network. As many people know, within sports and entertainment, Endeavor does include some of our client service business, which is WME. But under IMG, it is your traditional Jerry Maguire, Lee Steinberg, client service was really the bread and butter of the business, but I'm on the event side. There are a multitude of other business units that make up IMG events, everything from culinary to New York Fashion Week, golf and tennis, the traditional stick and ball. But I've been with IMG for 23 years, specifically in action sports. And so we are the non-traditional sport division of IMG. A lot of what I oversee are properties and events that we own and operate and produce. But we also consult and work very strategically with many brands and or sport in NGBs and leagues within action sports. So everything from the World Surf League to working with the AVP, also helping Rob Dare to create Street League Skateboarding, which is now, the preeminent street skateboarding competition within action sports. With 23 years of experience and within IMG, I've been able to really grow that youth and lifestyle division under the IMG banner that people know of.
Wow, that's really awesome that you've been able to, work there that long and then be able to contribute to so many action sports that you were mentioning. Skateboarding is pretty cool, though, I would say.
Skateboarding is really, really cool. And again, between surfing and skateboarding, snowboarding,
Ooh.
freestyle motocross, BMX, everything. Definitely, we've done it all within IMG Action Sports.
So over the course of the 23 years that you worked there, what key lessons have you learned?
What's really important for me as a division head, and really spearheading this area of the business for IMG, which most people are very familiar with more of the traditional sports, team, stick and ball, etc. What I've been able to learn and what I'm really tasked to do is really look at any opportunity that comes our way. It's be nimble, be open to new projects, because that's really what we're able to create, that white space opportunity in a lot of these growth areas for IMG. So for me, what I've learned is just to be nimble and be open. Really trust, I think, in the skill sets that we have. We understand sports marketing. We're great. I mean, that's our bread and butter. That's what we do at IMG. We're great packagers, but we're great at producing properties, whether it's for a client or for our own and operated events. So the ability to be open and really kind of test a lot of those formulas. There's really no subject matter and or sport or even entertainment property that we can't really help create. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of perspective.
That's really cool, because especially in like marketing and stuff, you have to continue to be creative and move forward with everything. So that's great. So
yeah, absolutely evolve. And I think that's really where sports and entertainment is going. I mean, I think for all of us, we've really are coming out of some of the most challenging 2 to 3 years that we've ever experienced as a global community.
Yeah.
And even for us, through our habits of content consumption, how we watch TV, how we interact with each other changes. And so being open and nimble to evolving with the time, with the environment around us, but specifically for me, because the demographic and the audience that I cater to is more youthful, it's younger. It really is trying to move and meet our audience and provide them and meet them where they're at. Hopefully that helps you kind of clarify that evolution.
Yeah, a lot of great insight. I'm learning a lot from this. So what are like a couple of highlights from your career?
There's a handful. I mean, obviously 23 years of work in my career. There's been quite a few things that we've been able to do. I think one of the most proud moments or properties that I love just being at IMG is being able to take the US Open of Surfing, which takes place in Huntington Beach, and really grow that within the last 20 years. It really was a surf specific property, but really, again, taking a lot of what I just answered for you on trying to evolve.
Yeah.
It's really meeting our audience where it is. And so what started off as just a surf competition really isn't just a surf competition anymore. It is a multi-sport lifestyle festival that has hosted and launched quite a few skateboarding competitions, whether it's vert, park, or street. Same thing with BMX. We have also really worked very closely with some of the most renowned brands, endemic and non-endemic, within the action sports space to launch products on site. And so it's a real cultural lifestyle event that started off as surf, as I just mentioned, and has grown into this really amazing, cultural moment in the heart of summer in July. What I've been able to do with that is create this formula with the US Open and really start to align with many brands where I worked with Hurley back in the day, and really exported that US Open IP to create the Australian Open of Surfing in Sydney, Australia. And you can start to see how the growth of action sports and replicating that and really kind of touching fans across the world within those sports and that youth lifestyle festival footprint and property is something that I'm really proud of, and definitely a key highlight of mine. But taking a lot of that, it was just an extension of the US Open, because we have hosted and we have launched a lot of skateboarding events, BMX events. We've been really deep with the surfing community and with the World Surf League for 20 plus years. We've been there to shepherd action sports into the mainstream, and what you witnessed with Tokyo 2020 and what you're about to see with Paris 24 is freestyle BMX, surfing, and skateboarding, all part of those as new sports, as part of that new trajectory into the Olympics. And it will also be setting into the tone when we're coming into LA 28, where a lot of the action sports really started within Southern California, and you'll start to see that come full circle. So that, to me, those are kind of two key highlights that I'd love to, that I love and that I'm proud of.
Those are great highlights to have. I mean, surfing has definitely grown like tremendously within like the past like 10 years.
And I think that's one of the differences or what's not differences, but what makes action sports unique, and why I've been within this particular business under IMG. It is about that lifestyle. It's extremely aspirational. It is really taking a lot of what you see tennis and golf, and even basketball, some of those really great formulas and how that has grown. You're starting to see that with these new sports. So it's truly, again, if the Olympics are including some of these new sports, you're starting to see the sports participation start to evolve and change through the years. And kids are picking up a skateboard really quick. They're starting, as much as they're going to soccer on the weekend, they're also competing in skateboarding events or surfing down in San Clemente in San Diego and in Orange County. So it's really a fascinating thing to see, and it's a really exciting time to be within the sports industry in general.
Yeah, because it's cool, like, surfing and like skateboarding we're always seeing as like hobbies or something like that, but now it's like an actual, like, you're gonna go and compete, especially being in the Olympics. That's huge.
Absolutely. And it's not just even skateboarding and BMX and surfing. I mean, when you think about some of the other new sports that will have its launch and will premiere at the Paris 24 Olympics, breakdancing, adventure climbing, and lead climbing. I mean, these are really great sports, and they're very aspirational. They're not your traditional basketball and gymnastics, and that's what I grew up with, right? Watching a lot of these marquee sporting events. And so to have, to your point, some of these sports that were maybe considered hobbies now really grow and have these formidable competitions to really crown team competition, you know, national athletes to represent their country along the global stage of the Olympics it's really incredible. It's super incredible.
Yeah. And especially like for us, like college students, like we're interested in like getting into those like traditional sports that we usually know. And now learning about how like these other types of sports are entering like the Olympics and all that, that gives a wider range of sports that we can work for, help like brand marketing, all of that stuff. So it's really
Absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely. And content, right? Like, I mean, I think a lot of these, where you're seeing a lot of these sports when you're looking at surfing and skateboarding and BMX and breakdancing and even adventure climbing, and even 3-on-3 basketball, it is catering to a more youth market. And to your point, if you're a marketing student, or you're really interested in content production and filmmaking, like you said, that is the legacy of where youth is. And that's a lot of what I do at the US Open of Surfing. That's a lot of what we did with Street League, and what they're continuing to do is it's a lot of the content, video parts, it's an ecosystem now where you're really taking a lot of those fundamentals between broadcast and content production and marketing and brand marketing within the NBA. And now you're exporting that to surfing, you're exporting that to skateboarding. And it truly is it's that foundation, as we just talked about, the skill set and the formula is there. Subject matter may change, but because these sports, just like you said, are starting to come into the mainstream, now there's a whole opportunity to take a lot of that skill set and the learnings that you are embarking on within college and university, and exporting that now in a whole different way, outside of just the traditional sports. Like you said, there's more opportunity now.
What advice would you offer college students or recent graduates pursuing a career in sports?
It's probably going to be the same that I just mentioned about what have I learned in my career at IMG. It would be the same thing that I would say to any current college graduate, anyone that's in their MBA program or graduate school, or a recent college graduate. It's to be nimble and open. Be curious and know that, there are opportunities out there. It might not be a one size fits all. If job opportunities are slightly different, really take the opportunity to learn, do internships, take that first job. I would say with many recent college graduates, if there are opportunities to be an assistant, a coordinator, entry-level position, identify some of the companies and the brands and the organizations that you would like to be part of. Because when you are taking some of those entry-level positions, you are learning the backbone of the overall industry. You got to start from something, right? So we've been taking executive assistant positions, because imagine if you are wanting to be a really great marketer and you are working for the chief marketing officer for Nike. Being an assistant to that person or as part of their team at an entry level is really allowing yourself to get a day-to-day understanding as to what the chief marketing officer is doing. So don't rule yourself out and think that you've got to, be open to the different job descriptions, because it's really about aggregating and soaking up as much information as you can and learn, because that will help you figure out pretty quickly whether you like to go within a particular realm of the sports and entertainment industry, or whether you need to pivot and shift a little bit. And to be honest with you, sometimes you think that you know what a job is, and until you get in, you're like, wow, this isn't what I expected. I really don't want to do it, but there are aspects of it that I like. And the more that you understand, that will help you move to the next level and find other positions and help you look for other opportunities. So be open and nimble and adaptable, and curious to learn. And I think from there, just be able to harness and build that skill set and foundation. My second advice is, as much as it is to don't shun away against entry-level positions or thinking that you have to get in a particular job. Even if it is, there are, dependent on the scope of work. To me, titles are nothing. Even at my level, it's not really about the title. It's about the body of work. It's about what am I going to learn, but what am I also going to contribute? And I think if you take that same frame of mind, it might not be that big wig job with NBA, but maybe you are working with a G League, you know, NBA team, and it might be in Stockton, California or Sacramento.
Mhm.
But if the fundamentals are there and you're understanding that, you can see how you've got your foot in the door. It's the G League team, it's part of the NBA. You're going to navigate things a lot more quicker, right? But at the same time, it's going to offer us and me as an employer an opportunity to really hone in and understand a candidate's strengths and weakness. Like, we're willing to afford you that opportunity.
Yeah.
But be clear and understand that when you take that job, okay, how can I grow? And as long as you've got the right supervisor or manager that is helping you grow, that to me is a win-win situation. There's no lose there, because if they are helping you and you're contributing to what they need, they're going to also help you continue to grow. Because to me, as a person who oversees a division and has many direct reports, my job, I've got my own career aspirations, is to reinvent myself. I need to clone myself. I need to be able to allow the people on my team and impart my wisdom, allow them the ability to take more from me. Because the more that I can clone myself, it only means that if I get up, you're going to get up too. We're all going to step together. Yeah. And I think that's an important thing to know, that to your point, it's a baby step, but the curiosity and the ability to, if you come in as entry level, you're really good at what you do, and you're illustrating that, and you're asking your boss, let's do more, give me more, your manager's going to see that, and that's where you're going to start to see that trajectory. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of perspective.
Oh, that's great advice. It's good for us, like, as college students, again, to like learn about that, because, reinventing yourself, I like that you said that, keep building on what you know, and like strive to do better always.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, again, curiosity is it. I do, and I've spoken to, other panels with Ron, joined other conferences with what, Ron has been able to really curate for you guys, which is extremely important, because I love doing it. Curiosity is it. There's not one job out there that you can't do. You might go to school in engineering, but you want to be an entrepreneur, you can do that. If you want to be an astronaut tomorrow, even though you've gone to school with a humanities degree or a fine arts degree, doesn't mean that you can't do it. It might take you longer, because you're going to have to go to school to go, but there's not one job out there that you can't do and cannot embark on. I think the statistic is most people change their careers 3 to 4 times out of their lifetime. And I think that's a beautiful thing to think about, because you are reinventing yourself. And if you're reinventing yourself, it basically means that you're learning. There's a skill set and a base of foundation, and you're curious, you're learning, and you're eager to try something new. So I think that's a really great thing. And I think it's the beauty of what we've got in life, right? Just to be curious and do whatever not do whatever we want to do with the bad, but like, you know what I mean? Embark on whatever it is that we're interested in. Those passion points. I think that's extremely important.
Definitely. I appreciate all this insight. I think it's very helpful. I appreciate you taking the time today to, answer these questions and just, give us your advice.
No, this is great. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to even think of actually, allowing me to impart some of my wisdom and career experience.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. It was very, very insightful.